Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Monday, February 3rd, 2025. A woman was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder after allegedly stabbing her ex-boyfriend in Joshua Tree, leading sheriff's deputies on a foot pursuit near the national park. On Thursday, just after 9 a.m., San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies responded to a call from a man who had been stabbed in the 63,500 block of Single Tree Road in Joshua Tree, near the border of Joshua Tree National Park. Deputies responded to the scene and say the victim had been stabbed one time. He was transported to a local hospital for treatment for serious injuries. Deputies say they identified the suspect in the stabbing as Damaris Zetere, 26, who they say was in an ongoing romantic relationship with the victim. Deputies say Zetere fled the location of the stabbing on foot, but she was found a short time later and taken into custody. Damaris Zetere was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder and is being held at the West Valley Detention Center on $1 million bail. In a bombshell report from the Desert Sun and reporter Janet Wilson, the Mojave Desert Land Trust said that it had been swindled of $325,000 3 years ago by a former employee. The organization told The Sun that it had taken swift action to beef up its bookkeeping and accounting processes and reported the alleged theft in 2023. You can find the full story at desertsun.com. San Bernardino County Supervisor Don Rao issued a statement saying, quote, "It is horrendous when funds are stolen or misappropriated from any nonprofit. However, it's even worse when it happens to a nonprofit that receives grant funding from state or federal entities, such as the California Wildlife Conservation Board, which has given the organization taxpayer-funded grants." Supervisor Rao called for a higher level of audit measures in place to ensure taxpayer dollars are secured. A representative from the Mojave Desert Land Trust provided Z107.7 with a statement regarding the investigation, saying, quote, "The Mojave Desert Land Trust was the victim of embezzlement perpetrated by a former employee in 2022. The issue was discovered through our annual financial audit process. We immediately alerted the sheriff's office, who has been investigating the case." They went on to say that the funds, totaling $325,000, were stolen from an unrestricted operating account and were not tied to any specific funder, donor, or grant entity. An insurance policy was in place to recover the loss. The case has been transferred to the district attorney, and it is an ongoing investigation. At tomorrow night's meeting, the Yucca Valley Town Council will advance its efforts on beautification. Here's reporter Adeline J. Wells with that and more.
The Yucca Valley Town Council meeting will begin with an update on the Old Town Beautification and Sustainability Project. Developments for Phase 1 have begun on Elk Trail. This portion of the project consists of building a parking lot for 93 spaces, 4 dual-port electric vehicle charging stations, restrooms, a shade structure, and lighting. The contractor is scheduled to complete the parking lot paving by the end of March. Town staff will then seek council direction on the Town Monument Signage Project. Last year, the Town Council began the process for the creation of a new monument sign on the west end of Yucca Valley at the southwest corner of Highway 62 and Camino del Cielo. The 29 Palms Band of Mission Indians has since built a recreational cannabis dispensary on tribal land at the southeast corner of the intersection, with further plans to develop a travel center. Town staff seeks guidance from the Town Council on the intended progression of the sign project. This week is the first week that the Town Council will host its meeting at an earlier start time to encourage public participation and attendance. This week's meeting will be held on Tuesday at 5 p.m. at the Yucca Valley Community Center. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Adeline J. Wells.
Quilted sweatshirts is the subject of today's meeting of the Cactus Sewables Quilt Guild. The guest speakers will be Judy Q. Block and Rebecca Blosser, who will discuss the sweatshirts. February's theme is Valentine's Day, so they ask that you wear red or pink. The meeting will be held at the Yucca Valley Community Center today at 1 p.m. Guests are welcome. It's $3 at the door. Teens looking to reduce the possibility of car collisions and keep their insurance rates down should consider attending the California Highway Patrol's Start Smart teen driving class tomorrow. The class is designed to help prepare teens for the situations they may come across as new drivers. Topics discussed are tips to avoid crashes, safe driving habits, the dynamics of a crash, and the consequences of a poor choice behind the wheel of a vehicle. Testimonies of people tragically impacted by incidents involving teen drivers, along with parental roles and responsibilities. Parents and guardians are required to attend with the teen drivers. Teen attendees will receive a certificate upon completion of the course. and some insurance companies may offer a discount for participation. To sign up for the class, call the California Highway Patrol at 760-366-3707. Temperatures are on the rise here in the high desert. Should we be worried about a wildfire? On last week's episode of the Z107.7 Up Close Show, host Gary Daigneault spoke to Eric Sherwin, the Public Information Officer for the San Bernardino County Fire Department.
The desert, as you've said, and everybody out here will attest to, the desert does burn, and it does burn fiercely.
And quickly.
Yes. So where the desert can lack a contiguous fuel bed, where we have acres and acres of grass, it's spotty, but the winds are more consistent out here and does carry it from growth to growth to growth, and eventually it's going to meet a community or residential area. So that threat is very real. So it comes back to, what can we do? And it is removing brush, creating that defensible space around your home, and using construction types and features, excuse me, that inhibit structures from igniting. So it's really, and when we talk about preparedness and creating plans, it's a united effort. It's the community's part working with those public safety entities, your local fire community, the National Park Service, the national forests, to create a plan that minimizes or reduces the ability of fire to translate into the community.
You can hear their full conversation by listening to the Z107.7 Up Close Show as a podcast at our website, Z107.7fm.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. Copper Mountain College's nursing program holds their annual fundraiser this weekend. The Have a Heart Nursing Fundraiser will be held on Saturday. Expect delicious food, fun, and the chance to win big, all to benefit Copper Mountain College nursing students, providing vital support for their education and training. Guests will enjoy a spaghetti dinner from Let's Feast Premium Catering, with a chance to participate in the reverse raffle for a grand prize valued at $3,000. Only 500 tickets will be sold, making your odds of winning the King of the Hammers VIP experience even better. The event will be on Saturday at 6 p.m. at the Bell Center at Copper Mountain College. Tickets are $25 and include the spaghetti dinner and entry into the reverse raffle. And finally, Jerry Lee Phillips, a 54-year-old resident of 29 Palms, died on January 20th, 2025. He was 74 years old at the time of death. He is survived by sisters Pamela Mae Jones, Roberta Irene Vandegrift, Angela Faye Vlassow, brothers Gary Lynn Phipps, Homer Ray Phipps, Randall Liege Phipps, and daughters Sharon Altimos, Susan Lewis, Jennifer Husung, Karen Cook, and Katrina Herrera. Jerry proudly served in the United States Marine Corps from 1968 to 1973, was a Vietnam veteran, and was honorably discharged from service as a sergeant of the Marines. He held multiple civil servant jobs for the United States Marine Corps and Marine Air Ground Task Force Training Command, Marine Air Ground Combat Center, with the last held position of Supervisory Facilities Operations Specialist. He worked as Facilities and Operations Director for Copper Mountain College until he retired in 2018. He was part owner of Mama's Homestyle Bakery in 29 Palms from 1982 to 1993. Jerry was a long-standing member of Blessed Sacrament Church from 1970 until he passed. He spent numerous years volunteering his time with the church. Services to honor the life of Jerry will be held on February 8th at the Blessed Sacrament Church located at 74462 National Park Drive in 29 Palms. The rosary will start at 9:30 a.m., with Mass preceding the rosary at 10 a.m. There will be a reception immediately following services. The family is asking in lieu of flowers to please donate to Blessed Sacrament Church. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z1077 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmatz.